Hey everybody, I'm going to put the comments on. I'm right here live at the Fasig-Tipton Sales Grounds. We got the select sale going on. Night 1 kicked off. We got night 2 coming up. I'm thrilled though because I have Danielle Bricker here with me. She is the assistant racing manager for Team Rapoli.
Yes, we love Team Rapoli.
We do. Now I'm going to put the comments on just so I can see if anybody, because we have to wait and populate because we're here kind of early today.
Yes.
We usually do these about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we're catching you also by surprise. But, you know, you got to like strike when you can, when these days are so crazy.
Yeah.
And your background, I was looking into just the development of your career, and it's so impressive. Can you tell our viewers just how you got into racing, what sparked that passion?
Yeah, so I went to University of Kentucky and I studied equine business. Just kind of fell in love with I really got engaged in racing when I came to Kentucky. I was a nursing major prior before I came over, so I wasn't really in the racing world growing up. So I just loved it. Started working with a bunch of different agents. I had the opportunity to work for Todd Fletcher. And through Todd, I met Mike Rapoli, and here I am on Team Rapoli.
You were a foreman at Todd's barn.
Actually,
were you there for 3.5 years?
I was 3.5 years. Started off as a hot walker.
Oh my gosh.
Very proud of that.
You worked all the way up.
I worked all the way up to foreman, to working the sales for him here, and I went over to Europe a few times for him.
Wow.
And would help a little bit with clients when they would come to the barn. And then so I got to know Mike actually at a 2-year-old sale. That was my first time meeting him.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah. Just throw me right into it. Sale and meeting Mike and his whole entourage, and it was great.
Well, for those who don't know what a foreman does, and because you worked your way up to that position, can you explain the duties?
Yeah, so foreman basically we run a barn. So I had a barn in Saratoga, and then I would go to Keeneland and then Florida. So your responsibilities is just watching over the horses, putting polos on, putting aces on, making sure the sets are going out at the right time, any medication, just overseeing everything, the workers, your grooms, your hot walkers.
You got to be really organized.
Yes.
Have you always been really organized?
Yes, I take great pride in my organization.
Do you have binders? Are they all color
binders.
coded?
I love my highlighters, my colored pens. We do it all.
Oh my gosh. And I should tell everybody, by the way, I was going to make this look real pro and slick. I had all the microphones. None of them were pairing with my phone. So please, if you're out there, let us know that you can hear us well, okay? Please, please, please. But yeah, let's talk about this. So I read an interview on The Rise that the Blood Horse had done with you, and you talked about that meeting with Mike Rapoli and how you laid out a whole proposal and you read it over and over again before you actually finally sent it. What do you think it was that you really drove home that Mike gave you the chance?
I think I just kind of said, from talking to Todd and how close Todd is with Mike, Todd was explaining how big Mike's stable is, and he really needs somebody to help. So I really just zoned in, saying I will do anything. I don't care what the job is, I'll do it. I'll help you be organized. So when he hired me, it was on a 4-month part-time trial. And after day 1, I was like, this is not part-time. This is definitely full-time, but on a part-time. So after the trial and I got hired full-time, Mike made a joke and he was like, it was really a full-time trial. I was like, yeah, I kind of picked that up after day 1
my
of how many horses there were, and just making spreadsheets and organizing and where all the horses are and breeding and the farms. It's a lot.
There is so much that goes into it, and I don't think, for those of us that we're just watching the races, either we just enjoy the horses or we're betting on them, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, well beyond just the names you see there in the form.
Yes, yeah. I mean, when I spend my summer in Saratoga, and I go to the barn every single morning. We're between Todd Fletcher, George Weaver, Rudy Rodriguez, and David Donk up here, and then we have Brittany Russell and Scott Lake. We added Kevin Attard in Canada, so we're very spread. But in Saratoga, I mean, there's something going on every day. There's horses breezing, there's horses standing in the gate, galloping out of the gate. So I'm there, I'm videoing everything to send over to the team, so everyone's kind of in the loop.
And it's such a tremendous team. And just in case, I'm going to bring this just a little closer to me so I can read your comments, because I see some. Hi. I see some comments coming through, so let me readjust. Richard says, "Good morning, Ren and Danielle. How's Forte doing? What kind of personality does he have? Does he sing or laugh? He seems like he's a real ham." Well, I did tell you that we visited with Forte at Todd's barn last year. Me, Matt, my daughter Ava, and as a 2-year-old, he was very sweet.
Yes.
Is he getting more of like the man?
Yeah. He's like, I am the man around the barn. I will be sweet for a second. He's like a Sour Patch Kid. First they're sweet. No, first they're sour, then they're sweet. But he's kind of the opposite. He's sweet first, and then he turns sour. But it's all in like good fun. I mean, he's a playful colt. He's always been, and he's doing really great. Training really good.
Was he one of the horses that was picked up when you were officially part of the team?
Yes. Yeah.
So how cool is that for
It's
you?
cool.
2-year-old champion.
Him and just watching the whole development phase, even watching his personality change from being like, he would like cuddle like in my stomach and be fine, and now when he does it, I'm like, I know something's coming soon, so I don't fully trust you.
You know that whole schooling has become a thing, right, with social media.
Everyone loves it. The puddles and the dancing, and it's almost like he plays music in his head as soon as he reaches the paddock, because it's just an automatic like turn on, like the jigging, the dancing.
What do you think he listens to?
There's no telling. I feel like maybe some old school like hip hop rap music.
You know, it's tricky, maybe a little tricky.
A little Run DMC.
I love it. I mean, he's a beautiful horse too, and he's so beautifully bred. I always say I'm a goofball. He's one of my favorite families. He's family 1X, and I even told Mike when I was doing the post-win interview, I said it's so crazy because I love statistics, and the 4 of the last 5 Breeders' Cup juvenile winners are all from the same family 1X, and I just think it's I don't know. I think there's something to that when you see it in that regard. But you know, what he's going to be going the Travers next. How did he come out?
He came out in great form.
Good?
Yeah, he came out in very good form,
Awesome.
And you know, we were happy with him going into the Jim Dandy. You know, the blinkers did help a lot, so we're very excited to see him for the Travers.
Well, I was just so impressed with the Belmont. Can you imagine being off since the Florida Derby, and then you have to go run a mile and a half?
Yeah, it just shows that he just runs with like all heart, and like this is why he was named champion, because he's just so cool and he's talented and he knows what he has to do, and you know, to run the way he did off of that long time in an extended distance was just phenomenal.
And if I recall, when you won the Florida Derby, it was on your birthday?
Fountain of Youth.
Oh, it's Fountain of Youth.
Best birthday present I've had.
And you got to lead him in?
Yes, yeah. And all I kept thinking was, don't trip over your feet, because I do that on a daily basis.
Oh my gosh. No, you know, it was funny because I did read that quote from you, and I thought, I don't know, I might be clumsy. I have bruises, like nobody's hurting me. I'm that clumsy. Yeah. So okay, next, let's talk about her for a minute before we get to the 2-year-old.
The queen.
Yes, she's okay. You posted a video. You have to check out Danielle's social media, her Twitter account, because there's this video with Ness just cuddling, like just giving all the love. Tell us about her. What does she mean to you?
I love her so much. She's so cool. You know, watching her run first time out, and then when she came back and she ran at Keeneland in the pouring rain. I remember it was opening day, it was freezing, it was hailing, and we were like, oh, you know, they're terrible conditions to be at the races.
Right.
And when she won, it was just amazing. And, you know, she just kept going and winning the way she was, and impressive. And she's so sweet, but she has a little sass to her. When she was like done being petted and loved on, she'll let you know. But I, every day, every night, when I'm up here in Saratoga, I go and get my set list to prepare for the next day, and I just kind of walk through the barn to see all of our horses. And Nest is always just right there, and she's like, pet me, love me, where's my peppermint? So, you know, after she won, and, you know, after that 9-month layoff, I was just like, you're so special. And she came out of the race just almost stronger and better. So we're very excited for her to run the Travers weekend.
And this actually helps me segue, because what is it about these Curlins, right? I mean, Curlin's just phenomenal. And you unveiled just this past weekend, Whitney Day. He didn't win, but that was a winning performance even in defeat, because for a horse to come out first time out, and the horse that beats him very narrowly is a horse who has some experience. We're going to be talking now about BU. This horse, what are your impressions of him?
BU's been impressive, honestly, from the start. I would go down to Florida over the winters to see all the 2-year-olds with the team, and he was just always cool, really like just strong, like knew his job. Carl Keegan actually broke him and said, this will be a good horse, like this will be a stakes horse. So he broke out of the gate well. He stumbled a little bit, and then to lose by like a nose, we were like, oh my God. But to lose to a horse that has already had previous starts,
Exactly.
it just shows that he's very good, and he'll come back and he'll be a very nice horse. He's another one, great personality. We love some of these Curlin personalities, and I just beg them, like, please stay this way.
And the sky's the limit also, because that pedigree, I mean, you're debuting in a sprint, but that pedigree is one of those 2-turn pedigrees, and it's a stallion's pedigree also, because the mom is so closely bred to Constitution. Technically half, but Constitution, she is by Congrats. Congrats is by AP Indy. Constitution is by Tappet, by Pulpit, by AP Indy. So it's so closely bred. Yeah. And to have that curl in there. And I remember watching him right before he went in the gate. And I know they use the cliche a lot about the look at eagles.
Yeah.
That horse has got it, though.
Yeah. He's pure class. He's always been class. So.
And it's never bad if you're going to lose to Dwayne Lucas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the legend.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
So now let's talk about another curling you have. I'm going to skip down because I got a list. But the other curling, because just to keep it flowing, that you have is Eliminate. This one's yet to debut. This one's from the family of Grade 1 winners Dortmund, Magambo, and champion Lakeville Miss. So you got to love that. What are your expectations for this filly? It's a colt. I'm sorry, for this colt.
It's a colt. Eliminate is actually a partnership horse with Napoleon Spendthrift.
Okay.
He's another one that's always been very impressive, even during the breaking process. We expect high hopes from him also. He's probably one that wants to go a little bit longer, first time out. Yeah, we'll see a debut coming up soon.
And it's fun. There's still Dortmund fans out there, I'm sure. Remember how big is this one? Dortmund was gigantic.
He's pretty big. Yeah, he's a good size.
All right. Now let's talk about a horse that debuted second also. This one, a filly, Life Talk. This was I don't know if it's Allie's Beach. I think it's Allie's Beach. This was on July 30th. And so she just missed winning that day to that other filly. What can you tell us about her?
Yeah, so Life Talk, she didn't break very well from the gate, but breaking slow the way that she did, and she came so wide around the turn, making up the ground that she did and losing the way she did, you're like another like head bob. Like the head bobs are like the worst losses because they just like dig into you a little bit more. But funny story with the name Life Talk. Mike likes to give life talks to his daughter Joya and to the team members. If we're having a bad day or we do something, he's like, okay, we got to find like positive or what can we learn from this situation. So Life Talk is very special, and Life Talk and Joya actually love each other. I took Joya to the barn last week when she was in town, and they just got along great. I'm like, you guys are meant to be named after Joya.
As a mother of a 5-year-old, I love seeing the connection when you all do share Joya's love of the horses with the public like that, because it's obvious that it's just such a pure feeling.
Yeah, she loves them.
And that connection. I mean, that's the thing with horses. Horses will never fake a connection with you.
No, they will let you know.
They will let you know. Richard, by the way, says, thank you for answering my forte question. I've been following Mike on Twitter. Who do you like for the Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita this year? Well, all the Rapoli horses, obviously.
Yeah, obviously we're just rooting for all Rapoli.
Let's go to Rapoli. Yeah. I mean, it is fun because it's camaraderie. And to take it back before we go to the next 2-year-old, because I'm so sorry, I totally skipped over what a great team it actually is. So it's not just you, but I feel like with the organization you have, maybe you could run the whole show. But there's Ed Rosen, whom I adore. He's a fellow pedigree.
We love Ed.
I love Ed. And you've got Jacob West, who really is great checking out the physicals on these horses. And the other part of the team, Jim Martin. Yes. Mm-hmm. So tell us what the dynamic is all about.
Yeah, it's a great, our team is very family oriented. We're very, very close.
That does not surprise me.
We're very close, and we actually also have Alex Solis and Madison Scott on our team. Also, they just started within the past year.
That's awesome.
Having the amount of horses that we have and buying at the level that we're buying at and racing all over the place, we just need all hands on deck, and it's a true like family.
Oh, you have a war
atmosphere.
room. There's
Yeah.
like at the sales,
Yeah.
they had a whole war room. It was Danielle, Ed, Mr. Martin. You had Todd in there.
Yeah.
You had Todd's wife in there. Like it was like game on.
Mike, his family, his best friends, his brother, like
And I just love the focus, and I love that you're not afraid to play the scale, so to speak. And what I mean by that is you have some horses that you're like, okay, it's worth throwing down X amount for, but then you're also looking at horses in a more modest price range. And in fact, I think Forte was 110.
Yes, 110. You never know. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know. I mean, we're judging horses based off of a walk and conformation, and you never know what they can be. You're hoping for the best, but they don't know their price range or what their cost.
What is it for you when you're looking at a young horse that you go back to the team, you say, we really need to check this one out more?
I kind of just look at their overall physical, how they walk, like how big their stride is, their presence, like are they, if they're super skittish and acting up, you have to think like
ahead,
if you're acting like this, like what will you be like during the breaking process, or what will you be like in the paddock? So can you stay calm, cool, and collective? Some horses just, you look at them and you're like, you're an athlete, like you have pure class to you. So
it's like what we kind of talk about when somebody can walk in a room and you just see the it factor.
Yes. Yeah.
The horses have it too.
They have the it factor. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other 2-year-olds that are exciting. You also have some homebreds.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about Nona Bella,
yes.
Nona Bella 21?
So Nona Bella, he is a City of Light colt, very nice homebred for us that we're excited for him. He'll debut hopefully by the end of the meet.
And has he gotten more? Because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it must have happened. Maybe I just miss it because I'm so used to, these horses being bought at auction. Has he already run some homebreds?
We have not run any homebred 2-year-olds this year yet.
Is this going to mean something more? Or once you've purchased a horse, it's already in your barn, it's already part of the family anyway?
They're already like a part of the family, but it is nice when we have a homebred because we've watched them, from foal and yearling, and you just watch them develop a little bit more. So it just means that the team coming together and Ed doing a phenomenal job with the breedings and the matings and everything, that it all comes together.
Okay. And you got Natural Rush 21.
Yes, that is an Omaha Beach colt. Yeah.
Omaha Beach is on fire.
And he's a cool colt. He's kind of built like Fearless.
Really?
And I love Fearless so much. So I'm like, okay, we have like another Fearless now that we retired Fearless to old friends. I'm like, you're Fearless part 2.
Well, that's the other part of the equation with your team. These horses get great names. There's always a story behind it. So
they are. We have 141 names reserved.
Oh my God.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And then sometimes like we have, for instance, the name Purple Potato reserved. And why Purple Potato? Because Mike had a purple potato on his plate one time and he was like, Purple Potato. Like, you just never know. We just say things sometimes in conversations, or we see things and we're like, great horse name.
Yeah.
Yesterday at the sale, I was sitting with my friend Margaret and Kelsey, and Ed texted me and was like, oh, I see you all sitting together. You're like Run DMK. And I was like, perfect horse name. Might have to add that to
No, you have to.
Yeah, I was like, it could be a cool name.
Oh my gosh. That's so, see, they have so much fun, but it's a lot of work.
Yes.
I feel like part of the reason you're able to have so much fun is because you feel confident in the work that you've put forth. You game plan early, you execute, and then you're better able to be present.
Yes.
And really enjoy the ride because of that. I know this one's not a homebred, but you still have that tie back. Talking about a horse named Scalable. This is a Speightstown filly. She's yet to debut. She's have a tappet mare named Passion Flower, and Passion Flower is a half sister to Distaff champ Stop Charging Maria, who of course
is named after Mike's wife.
Right. But you know what? He told me a story, and I'm probably not the only one he told the story to, but he said that name backfired on him. Because she's like, well, I have a name to live up to now.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So you did this to me. You thought you were being funny, but now
exactly.
This is, so Scalable will probably debut closing weekend for us, and she's again another very impressive filly. So we have a very exciting 2-year-old group right now
Yeah,
that we're
sounds
really
like it.
looking forward to.
I mean, the other one we'll talk about is Ms. Sense,
Yes.
Street Sense Philly, won on debut. And this was on July 30th under Jose Ortiz. The mom is Kella, full sister to Breeders' Cup and Eclipse champion juvenile Shanghai Bobby.
So Miss Sense kind of, after watching her breeze in the mornings here and then watching her run and win on debut, it came to me that I'm like, she reminds me of Gambling Girl, because she is not impressive in the mornings. There's actually a very funny story about her.
Tell us.
So since I film all of the breezers, say if Miss Sense is on the inside and the horse on the outside just blows past in the breeze, I will text the group and say that she was on the outside. Or no, wait, if she's on the inside and the horse is on the outside does better. The outside horse did better. And then Mike will be like, are you sure? I'm like, positive. And then I go back and I'm like, oh my God. No, it's the other way around. I did it 3 times in a row to the point that I was like, there's something wrong with me. Why can't I figure out this horse? She's the only one I can't get in my head. And then when she won first time out, I was like, it was all a strategy plan.
She was duping you all.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, I'm just gonna like lay it back.
And just like show up. But Gambling Girl she's not impressive in the mornings either. And
some horses are like that, right?
Yeah.
Some you have that are morning glories and they can't perform in the afternoon.
Right.
Some you can't get them to do anything in the morning, and then then they're ready game time.
Yeah. So I was like, thank you, because all the mistakes I made with you in the breeze videos. Thank you for showing me that you're good.
No, we have to talk about this. Is a Calbred filly. There's a filly named Pushiness. I'll let you discuss. She just won the CTBA.
Yes. So Pushiness won first time out by like 6 1/4 lengths, and then she just won the Calbred Stakes. But she gets her name from me because Mike told me that I'm a very pushy individual. But you have to be.
You have to.
Like, you have to be able to stand your ground and just say, listen, we need to name horses. Like, we got to do this. You want your horses to run. I got to be pushy. So he's like, Pushiness, done.
Perfect. I mean, that you did have a funny quote there. Again, you can look up this. It's in the Blood Horse. You can look up Danielle Bricker, and you'll see this interview that she did with the publication. And one of the quotes from the interview, you said something along the lines of, "If it were up to Mike, he'd wait till they were heading into the gate."
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, Mike, please. It takes 10 minutes. And like, I break everything down and give him name suggestions. This is a horse, this is the ownership, whatnot. I try to make it very like easy, fun, try to go like on a play of like words, but trying to find the right names. But yeah, naming is a challenge, but it's fun. Like, and then we come up with good names, which for the most part.
Do you think there ever will be a purple potato?
Purple potato might be coming soon. We have horses actually that we need to name this coming week, and I put purple potato on a list.
Because here's the thing, like when I'm thinking purple, I think royally bred because they say they're bred in the purple. So if you got one that's like all black type through and through, maybe they need to like drop a few pounds before they get into training. That could be purple potato.
Hey, we had a cilantro, we had a guacamole. Why not have a purple potato?
How do I not remember guacamole?
Yeah,
I love that. Are you kidding? Do you know, I have a funny story though about when Pushiness just won the other night. So we all went with Frank Miramati to Nove, which is amazing. If you can get out here to Saratoga, Nove, Nove. Owner Louie, amazing. Yeah. Carmine will take care of you. There's also Isabel, and they're all great. Everybody's wonderful. But we were all in the back. There were the big screen TV, and we were with Jeremy Rosen, who's Ed's son. And the race was going off, or not off yet. They were in the post parade and the warm up. And Jeremy says to Frank, "Hey, let me get a picture of you pointed to Pushiness. I'm going to send it to my dad. He's going to get a big kick out of it." Yeah. And so he did, and then the horse won. She just rocked.
Yeah, she just came rolling down the stretch. And
I mean, how good does that feel?
It feels great.
I'm like, winner named after you.
That's what I'm like. Maybe we need to name more horses after me because I'm doing well. I'm 2 for 2 right now, and I'm a stakes winner. So
you're a stakes winner. Yes, yeah. I'm just a main special weight winner at the moment. DJ Sable named a horse Petty Geek. But, who knows what the future could have.
You could get another one named after you. There's no telling.
There's a lot of eccentric names I'm sure that they could come up with for me. do you think she'll step out of California bred competition? Was the debut a Calbred?
The debut, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she just looks so talented.
Yeah, she's cool. I mean, we'll have a recap with Michael and the team and try to find out like where her next spot will be. And it's all a team effort, team decisions, and we trust our trainers.
I see another comment here. Richard again. I noticed Mike likes to name his horses after his family, his late grandmother. Who is Forte named for? And did Mike put 100,000 on pushing us to win? He changes the
I was not with Mike when he bet, so I cannot answer that. Forte means strong in Italian.
Yeah.
So Mike being Italian, Vinny Viola being Italian, and
made sense.
Yeah, it made sense. He's strong.
Does he use this emoji with you at all? Does he use this emoji with you?
He doesn't. Maybe he needs to start.
Mike, come on.
Start with the hands.
I love it. I finally used it in a post. I don't think I ever used it on Twitter before, but I had to. People don't understand. I'm going to tell you all again. It's Tyler Gaffalione. And so I had him on my show the other day. And so like I posted about the show and where people could watch it. I used the emoji. But no, and then, well, another horse that I think, who was it that, I know, Uncle Mo. Duh. I always thought Uncle Mo was named after a family member. It wasn't until he explained to me that it was about momentum. That's what they used. If you want to explain.
No, you can explain. I don't know the full story, but I know that it's something with momentum because I thought for the longest time also it's named after a family member. And when I met the family, I'm like,
there's no Uncle Mo.
Where's the Mo?
No Mo here.
Yeah.
No, so they would go because he loves St. John.
St. John's.
I'm
basketball.
So sorry. I only horses and hockey people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So he loves that, and they would talk about when you're in the in the seats and you're feeling the momentum in the room. They would say something like Uncle Mo was here.
Yeah.
And so when they had Uncle Mo and they knew he was going to be something special, that's why they named him that. And but I had no idea. I like
a lot of people think that it's a family member, but it's
for sure.
not.
I feel like somebody needs to name their child Mo going forward, just so there is a Mo. In
so
the
it can
family.
help explain it a little better. Be like, this is the Mo.
this is the Mo.
The baby. It's the Mo.
So, is there anything else you want to just describe about what you do? If there are people out there, because I always say this, like, it's awesome to have you on the show. You're the first person who happens to be a female that's been on my show this season so far. But at the same time, I don't think there's anything uniquely more impressive that we're women doing what we do, because we just do what we do anyway. Like, we're going to succeed one way or the other because you put forth the effort, you put forth the time, and you care about it. Like, talking to you over the past couple of days, it's unmistakable that you love what you do, and it's unmistakable that you are driven to be successful. For those out there who are listening and want to pursue a career in being a racing manager, what would you say to them is the best avenue?
I mean, I worked for a lot of people in the industry, or like interned for a lot of people.
Some of the biggest names in the game. I mean, before even this.
Yeah, I mean, I was with Chris Bakari, Danon Alani, Liz Crow. Like, I really kind of just like, I don't want to say bounced around, but kind of, I guess, bounced around from different people because everyone has a different perspective. And I just feel like I took skills from a lot of different people. And, I think that's the best thing you can do. That's the only way you're going to get a lot of experience. And then I became, very fortunate with how close I got to the Pletchers and Todd and his dad. And I would go around the sales with his dad, and then we'd meet up with Todd and then look at horses. And sometimes it's just like listening or just like observing, because not every agent is going to sit there and break down the horse for you, but you just have to like watch and you kind of just like pick everything up. So it's just like having the ambition and the drive to do it. Mike will tell me sometimes, I don't want you to go to the barn in the morning. I'm like, okay. Like, and I'm at the barn the next morning at 5:30 and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. But I just like, I love it so much. And, you learn so much, even just watching them jog up one morning or gallop. And, it's my time to just really like learn all of the horses. And I like to learn their personalities and just like different like quirks. I mean, I do Mike's social media too. Yeah. So, when I learn something about the horse, it helps when I like have to post stuff and do all these like little updates. But I think it's just like trying a bunch of different things until you find out like where your piece is. And it's not easy. I mean, this job, I had to work very hard to get this job. Like didn't just fall out of the sky into my lap. I had to really prove myself.
No, I mean, again, the resume is so impressive, especially considering you're still so young. What, do you have a moment so far, not just with Team Rapoli, but just in general, that just stands out to you as your favorite moment in racing so far?
Like career-wise?
Yeah, career-wise, just overall.
Sometimes, well, yeah, I mean, there are times that I'm like, wow, I wish I did this or I wish I did that. And then I have to like step back. I'll talk to my parents and they're like, Danielle, you've worked for some great people. You've been to Europe. Like, look at where you've come by yourself. Like, I mean, I will ask for help if I have to ask for help, but I am like such a determined, hard-headed individual at times that I'm like, I will get to this place by like doing it and proving to myself that all the connections, like working as hard as I do, keeping my head down just gets me to that one place. So
sounds like you thrive on it.
Yeah, I mean, I get very competitive too. So I'm like, I will do this. So I guess just looking back and like seeing like where I started, like literally not knowing a single person in Kentucky in the industry to like where I am now is pretty cool.
That's amazing. No, it is. Okay, so we asked that question. Now, what are you most looking forward to in the next couple of months as we head into, really getting the nitty gritty of the winning your in season?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see the upcoming sales. Like, what will we buy at the FASIC sale?
Yeah, we got night 2 coming up.
Yeah, night 2. Like, we could strike tonight. You have the New York Red sale coming up. Then you have the Keeneland sale coming up. So, like, that gets very exciting to see, like, the potential horses that will be stars come in the next year. And then, all the prep races for Breeders' Cup. And hopefully off to California we go.
Oh, my goodness.
With our whole entourage.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's the other thing. How do you manage with all that? I mean, because that is a caravan.
Yeah.
That's a caravan.
It's, there's normally like 30 to like 60 of us.
Gosh, how do you handle the dinner reservations?
Oh, thankfully Mike has a fantastic executive assistant.
Is that Erin?
Yes,
I love
Erin. So she does the dinner reservations.
Okay.
I do the seating charts, which is like a puzzle putting together.
You could do wedding planning on the side.
I could be like a second career.
It's amazing because it sounds as difficult
to place everybody. And, the races too, like I make sure everyone has everything they need at the races and bring everyone down to the paddock and the winner circle pictures. And, it's a lot, but it's fun. And like I said, it's all of his family and his close friends that he grew up with. And we're all family. Like I look at them like, you're my extended family. So it makes it more fun having that many people.
And win, lose, or draw, you all happy.
Oh, yeah. And, if we lose, there's another race. There's another day it happens. You can't win them all. And, it's also fun that competing on like a high level and then like a low level of like claiming races, we all root as if we're running in a grade 1 every single time.
Yes. I mean, well, that's the thing. You're still in the claiming game. Like, yeah. I mean, I always say that too. I never had a horse anywhere near the level that you all have. I mean, the closest I can come to it is when my family was racing horses in Michigan. We had a couple of regional champions. But that's it. Yeah. But that being said, for me, it's as exciting to be part of that horse, whatever level at which they happen to be running. And actually, even in some regard, like even just having a couple of bucks on a horse, you feel like you're part of that horse's entourage, at least for that race.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's so great. And I'm thrilled that you were able to carve out time to join us because I'm just so impressed with what you do.
Thank you.
This is one of the most successful operations in the business. And to be part of that, I mean, I don't know. I'm going home. I'm like, pitching myself a little bit that I'm part of it, but at the same time, but you deserve to be there.
It's very special, and I tell Mike all the time, I'm like, I'm so grateful that I'm a part of this team, and who knows what the future holds.
Well, we're going to stay tuned to that. If any of these 2-year-olds, if winning your ins are coming up, right?
Watch out for the stable.
I love you all at Team Rapoli. I'm going to probably have to get Danielle back, though. Because, I just love the enthusiasm. And you've been so generous with your time. So, everybody, this has been your Future Stars Forecast, 2-Year-Old Tuesday. Stay tuned because the sale tonight, we'll see if Team Rapoli picks up any future stars here at the FASIC Tipton Summer Select Yearling Sale. I'll be back here next week. Gonna hit and